I was born and raised in Flint, Michigan. I was about 9 years old. My parents got divorced. Pretty much lived an ordinary life until, I was about 12 years old. And that's like the first time that I had smoked weed. 13 years old, I was smoking cigarettes on a daily basis. And when I was 14, my own dad turned me in for weed. So I spent a little time in juvenile home, which was actually kind of freaky being in there with the rapists and murderers. And I only had just a little bit of weed I got busted with, so I didn't think I deserved to be in there with all them. But I guess it didn't scare me enough though, because I got out and just continued to live the same way. After being out of juvenile home for a little while, I had a choice of living with my mom or living with my dad. And since I could get away with more stuff living with my mom, I ended up living there. I was cursing, swearing, smoking, it was more lenient over there. So I ended up living with my mom. I wasn't doing too well in school, just skipping school day after day, eventually just dropping out and just quitting school altogether. When I was in 11th grade, I moved back in with my dad and started going back to school. Was on the honor roll, first semester. I was doing pretty good, but that didn't last for long at all. I started hanging out with some friends that introduced me to drugs like mescaline, and acid, coke, ecstasy. So, by that age, I had almost done it all. I ended up not even graduating high school. I moved to Florida to try to kind of get away from all the drugs and stuff. Moved in with my mom down here in Florida. Started working construction and was making pretty good money. I was like, man, who needs high school when you make money like this, So, I started making good money. Was away from the drugs for a little bit, but then I found that down here, there's even more drugs around here than there was up there. I found myself getting back into drugs again, but not only was I using the drugs, but I started selling them too, just to make some extra money. I was living a little bit more comfortably with that extra money. Ended up building a house for myself when I was 25. So I was just living it up, man, partying all the time. Started doing coke again. Started just doing it more and more. Found myself doing it more each time until it just got to the point to where I was just really addicted to it. So I was going for that ultimate high. So I started using a needle just to shoot it in my veins, man. That's when I found myself using heroin, pills, just pretty much anything I get my hands on, man. I was trying to get high, man, and just nothing, it just never was enough. I ended up spending all my money that I made on drugs. Man, just every bit of money I had, it just went to drugs. The more drugs I did, the more depressed I was, man. I ran out of money, was wondering, where am I gonna get my next fix? What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna live? Just so depressed, man, wondering when everything was gonna end. I remember one night, I had saved one of the biggest hits I've ever done for last, man, and just praying, God, please make this the very last one I ever do. Let this be the one that takes my life, man. Just let this be the one to end it all, No more sadness, no more depression, no more disappointing people. I just wanted it to end. One thing that I always loved to do was bowl. Every Thursday night you could find me at the bowling alley. Me and my brother bowled on a team. One night we're up there having some drinks, bowling, and ran into a group of people that kept showing up every week. I ended up talking to them. They said they're from a college ministry. They did a Bible study every week. And so I took a couple minutes out of my time and just sat down and listened to see what they had to say, and some stuff that really caught my interest. I met a few people that actually had similar lives to what I had. I ended up going out into the parking lot with a couple of the people, and I told them about what was going on with my life. I was just searching for something. I just needed something just changed my life, and they told me that Jesus was what I was looking for. So they ended up praying with me, and just after that, they just invited me to the house, to their ministry, and I started to go. Actually, the first time I went, I was a little bit nervous. Never been to church before or nothing. Just kind of freaked out at what I'd seen there. People got their arms out, praying out loud. I'm like, man, what is this? Kind of, weirded me out a little bit. I didn't know if I was going to show back up again or not. But just something in my heart told me to go back, I ended up going back a few times, and probably the third or fourth time that I went there is just really when I had just felt something that just made me break down and cry, man. I was just feeling total forgiveness. Just man, God was saying to me, I will give you a brand new start. Man, I'll give you a new life. I believe that God's allowed me to go through all these things just to build strength in me, to show me that I was weak, but He is strong. I feel like if God could save me, He can save anybody.